So Heidi, tell us why you chose Dirty Dancing.
So growing up, I was born in 1985, so this movie came out when I was a baby. But growing up, this was my mother's favorite movie, and it became my favorite movie from watching it so many times as a kid. I didn't exactly understand what was going on throughout the entire thing until obviously I got older. But I think one thing that really solidified this as my favorite movie from that era is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely incredible. I mean, you still can't beat Hungry Eyes. So Dirty Dancing for me is incredible. Plus Patrick Swayze. I mean, come on.
Tall drink of water there.
Yeah. That's keeping the wheels crushed too.
High five.
Mrs. Rukus did let me know that that a lot of that was filmed in Virginia, Pembroke, Virginia. Way, it's about 4 hours from where I'm at right now. And then it became a discussion. Well, maybe we should go by there and visit like one weekend or something like that. And, because we're trying to figure out what we're going to do, little trips we're going to take over the summer. So I don't think I want to do that.
You can recreate your own little version of Dirty Dancing, like them dancing on the log. You guys can go try that. You can carry the watermelon,
Heidi, I appreciate it, but I guarantee you that that will not happen. I get hurt. I get hurt getting out of my chair today. So
I feel you on that.
So Heidi, what are some of the favorite scenes from this movie?
Well, you obviously cannot deny the ending when, nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nobody.
And she surprises her dad and gets up there and does the iconic lift. Oh, my goodness. And when they're practicing the lift, I just think it's so incredible. I was also a dancer growing up my entire life, dancer, gymnastics, track athlete. And so watching them, learn these dance moves, I think was kind of inspiring to me to also be a dancer. I did regular dancing and then I did ballroom for a long time. And I think that that this movie in particular kind of brought out that the sassiness that comes with ballroom. I think when she's a super nerd at the beginning and she's so shy and reserved, I think there's so many young girls that are that way and they just need something that pops them out of their shell. And I think that this movie is just a cool representation of that.
And that is amazing. I think I kind of felt the same way. As being Puerto Rican, it's in my blood to be able to dance, right? It's part of my culture and heritage. Rukus, being Puerto Rican, can't dance nor speak.
Do not listen to him.
So
do not listen.
I feel bad for him, so he doesn't understand what that means.
He's still holding on to that 23andMe, 0.03% Puerto Rican.
You just need a Patrick Swayze to just instill that dancer right out of you.
That's right. You need a Patrick Swayze in your life, keeping it will.
No, I'm saying I can be your Patrick Swayze. Bro.
No, that's.
We could do the lift. We could do the. I feel it.
I hate you, man.
So when we talk about this movie, I think we have to address the soundtrack and how amazing this was. So talk to us about some of the songs, and do you still listen to them today? What was your favorite back then? Has the taste changed?
So these are songs that I still listen to today. If it comes on the radio and if I'm listening to Delilah, the easy listenings, whatever it is, and any of these songs come on, it's going to be turn the radio up all the way. Now, I have to say, I am on a lifelong quest, and I don't want this as a gift. So nobody ever get this to me as a gift. My dude knows this. My friends know this. This is not a gift I want. This is something I want to find. I need to find on my adventures throughout my life. I need to find Dirty Dancing on vinyl. My mom had it as a kid, and I'm not going to steal hers. And plus, it's probably warped because she probably packed it somewhere weird. But that's something I need to find. It is my favorite soundtrack. I think between that and a Goofy movie, those are my two favorite soundtracks. But I need to find it on vinyl. These songs are iconic. These songs, I know every word. They shaped my childhood. So these are definitely things that I guess looking back, it's probably some of the first songs I heard. when you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, given the fact that I was born only 2.5 years before this movie came out.
Do you have a favorite?
Well, Hungry Eyes. Hungry Eyes.
Hungry Eyes.
I feel like that would be such a fun duet to do, but also maybe make it a little bit heavy.
Oh.
So maybe that's something you'll see in my future.
I dig it. In terms of like the soundtrack itself, I don't think it's just the fact that they were great songs. I think they were really well placed.
Yes.
The placement is just as important as the selected track. So especially in the beginning, like it jumps from one song to the next, like from the opening to when they're driving. And I hear them in my head, but I can't recall the names of what they are. And just seeing it like maybe 2 hours ago, I kept thinking to myself like, man, I remember my mom with the windows open, cleaning house, and singing these at the top of her lungs. And those are the kind of memories that I associate with the soundtrack. So they all of them have meaning, but I think probably the Time of My Life, and that's the one that Mrs. Ruckus can't stand. She can't stand Time of My Life. She's like, I hate that fucking song.
Really?
Yes, she hates that song.
It
just grates her the wrong way for some reason. I have no idea why.
That's okay. Maybe she's more of like the Green Day time of your life. You know, maybe that's more her speed.
It's crazy that I actually thought about the Green Day track when she said that. She was like, I hate this song. And I thought to myself, well, what about Green Day? But me trying to tell Mrs. Ruckus jokes, they always fall flat. So she never laughs at any of my jokes. So I just kind of sat quiet. I was like, well, I got to go.
I think
that's how you know it's meant to be.
Yeah.
That's right. Your bad joke stays with you. So, I'm going to be honest with you. She's like the Win by Patrick Swayze. That is
I mean, iconic. Every woman in the world wishes he were singing that to them at that time.
Yeah. Woo, God. Oh, all right. So I actually.
Calm down, Will.
I do like that song.
More man. Who knows?
Yeah.
Don't pop out of your shell, Will.
What a lineup.
Just a couple of things about this movie. Jennifer Grey was supposed to do a publicity tour to promote this movie when her and Matthew Broderick, which was her boyfriend at the time, got involved in a head-on collision in Ireland. And actually a couple people died from that.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of, stalled that in. This was also, Patrick Swayze was offered $6 million to do a part 2 and turned it down. And you got to think back then, that was
a lot of money back then. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they didn't like each other that much. That's crazy.
So apparently in the movie, when they did it, they didn't like each other filming Red Dawn, right? They didn't get along. And he tried to talk her into doing the movie, and he did, right? So they go to do the screen test for Dirty Dancing, and their chemistry was off the charts. So they're like, all right, we're in. They started filming a movie, and they just did not get along. They got really bad to where they wouldn't talk to each other or anything. They thought they were going to have to shut production down. So they, the film crew took them together, put them in a room, and made them watch their screen test again. And then once they watched that, they realized they kind of got over themselves, and they got that chemistry back, and that's what we saw on the screen. So it was kind of a neat how they went through that.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so grateful they put him in that room and made him make up, because that's like, I wouldn't have my favorite movie.
It's amazing how two people that do something together really don't like each other. I understand that completely, if I'm being honest with you. I get it. So...
And then the studio being like the parents, like, sit your ass down, watch this, and don't come out here until you've got it settled. Yeah. There's too much money involved.
And the last little tidbit about this movie, it was also the first film to sell 1 million copies on a home video. Right?
That's right. Okay.
Think about that. And
VHS was really hitting. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Maybe that's going to be my next find. I need to find it on VHS.
VHS. And we both collect, so we understand what it's like to find things in the wild as opposed to someone giving it to you or ordering it from Amazon or wherever like that. So absolutely.
It's fun. it's fun to be able to go to different vinyl stores or different, oddity stores and looking for that specific item that you're trying to collect. It's such a fun, adventurous thing. Like I do it on tour all the time. I'm like, okay, I need to find a record store near here. It's a collector's thing, right?